OK, well, let's talk more on Manchester United and speak live to Dan Khan, who joins us live on Total Football. Afternoon to you, Dan. So just give us a little bit of background here. How did United come to the decision that Carrick was the right man for the job going forward?
Yeah, afternoon, David. I think there's a few factors to this. I mean, first of all, just look at Michael Carrick and his backroom staff's record since arriving in January. Let's not forget, the club felt a little bit in disarray after Ruben Amorim was sacked, especially after that chaotic news conference, after that draw at Ellen Road. But what Michael Carrick was able to do a few weeks later was really just calm all the noise inside and outside the club. There were other things as well, like Kobbie Mainoo not really being involved in terms of the starting lineup. Hadn't started a Premier League game since he arrived at the club. In terms of Michael Carrick, Bruno Fernandes's future maybe was more in question as well, while also just really trying to find some consistent form in the Premier League. But huge wins in his 16 games in charge against the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, as well as Chelsea. I think we're all really huge markers for Michael Carrick and his staff. They really worked in their favour. For the hierarchy at United, in terms of Director of Football Jason Wilcox, CEO Omar Barada, really to give this staff an opportunity to continue the work they have really accomplished in the last 6 months, which has meant Champions League football returns to Manchester United once again next season. Look, they then recommended Carrick in terms of having a bit of a discreet and thorough process in terms of their head coach search. They looked at who's available on the market and ultimately decided Carrick was the right candidate to continue. They then made their recommendation to the Glazer family as well as Sir Jim Radcliffe, and they all, as I understand, are aligned in terms of his appointment until 2028. Now, of course, Michael Carrick's next task is to continue to build on that work. But the only thing I think we're still waiting confirmation about, as I understand it, United are still working on final confirmation around his backroom staff in terms of the likes of Steve Holland, Jonathan Woodgate, hoping to confirm that staff in due course as well.
And Dan, what are Michael Carrick and Manchester United's plans then for the summer? It could be an absolutely critical one, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, David. I think it's easy to forget, yes, they are back in the Champions League, but Manchester United really need consistency when it comes to their league form. When you look at where they finished in the table in the last 6 years, yes, they have cemented a third-place finish this season, but let's not forget, they finished 15th last year, 8th the year before that, between top 3 finishes under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well in his first full season, and also third under Erik ten Hag as well. So look, I think maintaining competitiveness in the league will be huge, but also rebuilding this squad to compete on all fronts. As I mentioned, the Champions League, but they would also like to go a bit further in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup as well. And that midfield is the absolute priority. With Casemiro saying goodbye to the club last weekend at Nottingham Forest, with that farewell at Old Trafford, the midfield will be the priority the club will look to invest in. And some news we brought you a bit earlier today: Manchester United are in talks with Serie A club Atalanta over the potential signing of midfielder Ederson. Now, Ederson fits the profile of what they're looking for, a bit of an 8, a bit of a 6. He can also play a bit further forward as well. And really, this is all about who would really suit the likes of Kobbie Mainoo in that midfield going forward, but at least expecting 2 midfielders to arrive at Old Trafford this summer. You'd also look at left back and maybe left wing as 2 other positions Michael Carrick will look to strengthen just in terms of depth, because as I mentioned, United will be looking to compete on all fronts while also maintaining to be competitive for Champions League football the following season as well. So the hard work, of course, continues for Michael Carrick, but in terms of transfers, at least players they're pursuing knows who will be the head coach of Manchester United next season, and that is Michael Carrick.